Welcome to the Solemn Yugioh channel. Today we are talking about booster pack tins. You remember these? 2002, 2003, we had these tins basically around the release of the first boosters, around the release of the starter decks. You know, you were a kid, maybe once every month or so, maybe you got a little pack. Or for your birthday, maybe you got your starter deck. But then, you just had amazing grades. You passed your entire year, you are going to the next year, and your mom and dad, they're getting you something nice. This is not just a starter deck. This is a metal tin. And that metal tin not only has some packs, different packs, but it also has a special hollow foil card. And not just any card. It has the Blue Eyes White Dragon. It has Dark Magician, Red Eyes Black Dragon, Summoned Skull. In special foil, it's rare, it says limited edition. Whoa. Everyone on the playground has their unlimited Dark Magician or their unlimited Blue Eyes. And it's, you know, it's ultra rare, it's kind of foil, it's cool, it's their prized possession. But you just got a BPT. Whoa. Now these are iconic. They're not the biggest thing ever. I'm not saying they are a Shonen Jump prize card. I'm not even saying they are a LOB PSA 10, something like that. However, they are iconic. As a kid, I assume we all remember these tins. Maybe booster pack tins were slightly before your age. Maybe you got the collector's tins with Insect Queen and the Celtic Guardian thing. Maybe you saw those, but we at least remember those very old tins. And so I wonder, why are they all still so fucking cheap? Like, these are old. You can't find them sealed. Like sealed, they are what, 700, 800, 900, depending on which one we're looking at. These are rare. At any point on TCG Player or eBay, maybe you'll find one sealed, maybe two. Collector's tins, a few more, but the BPT ones, barely anything. And not only that, even if you buy one sealed, a BPT for 900, which is, you know, a lot of money, but you're at least hoping, hey, the card inside, I'll be able to grade it. And since it was still sealed, it's going to be in great condition. No, it's not. Most BPT cards have garbage on the back. Now, I don't know why. I guess the truck that brought them to the toy store had a wild ride. Because God, the backs of the BPT promos are mostly completely fucked. And so you may open a brand new card and it's actually a PSA 8. So these are actually pretty rare. When you check the pop reports, of course, we're not talking about LOB Secret or LOB Ultra Rares, but still, there's not that many. We're talking DDS levels of rarity. And you know, DDS has actually better quality than the BPT tins. So why is BPT so cheap? That's actually like a legitimate question of mine. Now, before people start saying, you're trying to pump BPT. You want to pump the booster pack tins because you own so many. I actually don't. Sadly. So I'll be very transparent. What I own from BPT is this Jinzo right here. I love this card. It's basically the PSV's little brother. It's easier to have a 10 of this than a 10 of PSV. So this is not as good. It's the same type of foil. It's not as good as the PSV. I want to be very clear about that. No bias. Love this card. It's not a PSV Jinzo. So I own this. I own a 10 of Blue Eyes White Dragon. BPT 09. So that is the second printing of that. You have the first printing, which is BPT 003, limited edition. And then you have the BPT 009. Same print, just slightly different cardstock, you notice? It's a different yellow. It's more like the LOB yellow, if you've seen that before. And then apart from that, I own about 4 or 5 raws of both BPT Blue Eyes. Beyond that, I own no BPT cards. So I have 2 graded, and a couple raws. I'm sending those raws in to get graded, but so far, so my position in BPT is laughable. So I'm not making insane amounts of money if I manage to pump it with my 450 subscribers. I just want to be very, very clear about that. But I'm just literally wondering, why the fuck are they still so cheap? Now, they have seen their uptick. Like, the PSA 10 of the Blue Eyes BPT is at 1,000. But I'm just considering they are secret rare, foil-wise. So they're not quite DDS, but they should be in the same range as far as, you know, foil interest, let's say, as maybe a Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, maybe a Jinzo, Trihorn Dragon, you know, the fancy secret rares. So as far as demand for secrets, they should be up there. They're mostly damaged in these tins. The tin supply is mostly wiped out. They are old as fuck. We're talking about vintage. We're talking about iconic monsters mostly. 2002, 2003. They should have all the factors to be up there with the starter decks, with the LOB, maybe slightly below DDS. And still they're not there. Like a Red Eyes Black Dragon from BPT is the only way to have that original starter deck Joey Art of Red Eyes in secret. If anything, BPT Red Eyes is kind of like the DDS for Red Eyes, because you don't have a DDS of Red Eyes. So this is the next best thing. And yet it's still so cheap. That's fascinating to me. I personally believe that BPT has the most growth out of all the vintage stuff left. Because, you know, when we saw all this interest in the hobby really starting to boil, 2019, 2020, the LOB stuff, the PSV stuff, the MRD stuff, the MRL stuff, all of that got wiped out instantly. Try look for them, you just can't, unless they're like super expensive compared to before. But the BPTs, they have gone up, but they haven't gone up quite as much as I expected. And so I'm making this video essentially because I want to be historically correct. I want to make sure that in 5 years I can go back and say, hey, look what I said. And if I was a complete idiot and I was wrong, fine. But if I was right, that's gonna look very, very cool. My little prediction, now again, this is no financial advice. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Seek a licensed advisor for your financial advice. But yeah, I think BPT is gonna be really, really big.